You are tuned in to On Air with Chris Shanafelt. Welcome back On Air with Chris Shanafelt as we continue our Player Spotlight series with the 2020 NFL Draft Class. And I'm now joined by one of my personal favorite prospects. He's one of the more exciting prospects to watch in this year's draft class. He's Dawonya Tucker, running back out of Prairie View A&M University. Dawonya, I really appreciate you taking the time to chat. We are less than 1 month away from the NFL Draft. How's everything going?
Good. Just, constantly training even through all the, Corona stuff going on. So,
right.
Everything is well.
Yeah, before we get to your Prairie View career, Dawonya, let's start off by talking about the draft process itself. You were set to participate in the first ever HBCU combine held in Miami at the Dolphins facility that the NFL had organized. That was actually supposed to take place this weekend. Unfortunately, due to that coronavirus outbreak, that event, along with most scheduled pro days, were canceled. Where have you been training at as you prepared for the combine, and what kind of numbers do you think we would have seen out of you if that event would have taken place?
Man, with all that stuff going on, I've been training at DST out in Houston, and with that, when they canceled the HBCU combine, I was really looking forward to it. And it really, I was kind of down at first, and noticing that they canceled that, I kind of was looking forward to, my pro day being canceled too. My pro day was a couple of days before that. The HBCU combine was on the 28th. My pro day was on the 24th. So both of them got canceled. I just been trying to, keep my head up and, keep training, keep doing everything that I got to do. As a matter of fact, while I was training there with DST, we ended up having to, leave early because of the corona outbreak. So I'm just out here back at home, constantly, still trying to train, constantly still doing the things that we was doing at DST so I can stay right. They're actually holding a pro day. DST is holding a pro day for, athletes that, missed their combine or missed their pro day April 4th out in Houston. April 10th out in Houston, 10th and 11th. I'm going to go out there to, try to get some numbers up. But, so, if I would have, got to participate in the HBCU combine, I could have put up some good numbers. I think I could have got, probably 17 or 18 reps on bench. Could have got, 4-2, 4-1, 10 I think it's the 20-yard shuttle. Mm-hmm. I think the 3-cone drill I could have got a 6-9. And the 40 I could have got, 4-4, sub 4-4, maybe even high 4-3 if I was really feeling myself that day. And, yeah, pretty much other than that, my vertical wasn't too crazy. It's probably a 35, 36. My broad jump, the first I got was probably a 9-4. So could have put up some pretty decent numbers, but, that stuff got canceled. But I still ain't going to have a chance to do that coming up soon.
Yeah, like you said, April 10th, they'll hold a mock pro day there. And, obviously a tough pill to swallow. There's a lot of hype surrounding that HBCU pro day, HBCU combine, and it was certainly something that was, in the works and something that we probably should have seen, years ago. Fortunately enough, this was supposed to be the year. Unfortunately, the coronavirus outbreak had other plans, but the one event that you were able to participate in, though, was the HBCU Spirit of American Bowl, a college football all-star game held in Salem, Virginia. You were named the MVP of that game. What was that experience like to represent Prairie View A&M one last time in an all-star setting?
I actually went out there with my other teammate, Ron Collins. So, that's what we were talking about. He was my roommate there, too. That's what we were talking about the whole time. There was going to be our last time, wearing that Prairie View helmet and representing our school. So we wanted to go out there and not only just represent for our school, but, put a name out there for ourselves that, we can compete with the best of the best regarding, HBCU and any other type of talent. And going out there was fun, learning a new offense, quick on the fly. That's one of my strengths into, my game, is that I can pick up easy on the playbook and learn the offense and knowing defenses and stuff like that. So, that had already gave me advantage, knowing the plays and, my ability, the work I put in and able to translate it on the field. It just showed in the game. I'm not going to lie, playing out there, it was so cold, and I'm not used to that. But, I just had to tell myself, if I end up playing for a team like Green Bay or, Buffalo, it's just something I'm going to have to get used to. So I just kept putting that in my mind, and I just went out there and just tried to not even think about the cold and just play. And I ended up, doing a good job.
Yeah, to say the least. Again, game MVP. Whether it was at the All-Star game or dating back to the past couple of years of yours at Prairie View A&M, Dawonya, who are some of the teams that you've met with, and what have some of the feedback been like that you've gotten? Any idea how the NFL is currently viewing you as a prospect, as we are, again, less than a month away from the start of the draft?
Being at Prairie View, we done had some talent to come through. We got Quentin Bell that got drafted last year. We got Kadell Hodge that's in the lead, and we got Josh Simmons that just signed with CFL. So, we be having a lot of scouts come in and out. So, I can't really just, this team. I done talked to pretty much all of them. And, they all just telling me to make sure, I'm catching punts and doing good on special teams and learning how to, not only run routes at the backfield, but at the slide. And that's all stuff that I'm comfortable with doing. And, as far as just where I feel like, if I get drafted, it's cool. If I don't, all I need is a shot. That's all I need. And if I get a chance, I know I'm going to make the most of it. I know a lot that's knocking me is my size. And, that's just something I knew, even going into college when I was leaving out of high school. That was something that was going to be a knock. And it's not something that discourages me now. I just, whenever the chance come, the opportunity come for me to do what I got to do, I just prove to them that, when it comes to size, it really don't matter. Last time I checked, you ain't got to be a certain height to run through a hole as a running back. So.
Again, we're chatting with 2020 NFL Draft prospect, the running back out of Prairie View A&M University, Dawonya Tucker. And let's pick it up from right there, Dawonya. Many people will look at your height and automatically doubt you. I'm sure you've dealt with that all of your life. How have you been able to prove the doubters wrong consistently over the years, and how have you been able to use your shorter stature of yours as a strength?
Being shorter, I think it's a strength because, it's hard for linebackers to really D-lineman and anybody on defense to see where I'm going. And with me being a short stature, I change direction really quick. So, just always being ahead of the game and, really studying film and working hard whenever, nobody's watching. To always, give myself that edge to guys or other running backs that are bigger than me. I know whatever team give me a shot, I know I'm going to outwork anybody, that's in the same team as me or on the same team. I'm going to outwork anybody. I'm a hard worker. So I really kind of look at it, when I get on the field, I'm the biggest player on the field. I'm the biggest playmaker on the field. It's not being cocky. It's just the confidence I have in myself. So I don't try to worry about size.
Yeah, you can measure your height and weight, but you can't measure your heart and the hard work that you've put in. 5'5", 185 is the latest listing I've seen on you, Dawonya. Is that about where you're at today?
Yes, sir.
All right, and taking a look at your Prairie View career, just looking at your journey, Dawonya, coming out of high school, you're one of the best running backs in the state of Texas, which obviously says a lot, knowing how big high school football is there in the state of Texas. You rushed for over 2,100 yards and 26 touchdowns as a senior. You're a district MVP. What led you to Prairie View A&M University? Why did you ultimately feel like they were the best fit for you?
Going through the whole recruiting process is the same like it is now, the bigger schools, the Big Ten, the Pac-12, they're all telling me, that I was too small. And so I was just constantly working, feeling like those guys that were getting those opportunities, I was better than, I was putting better numbers up in, So I just kept working, and finally, Prairie View ended up, I think it was the week before signing day, brought me down there. I loved it down there. They ended up offering me a scholarship. And, I took it, I took it and I made the most of it. And as I was at Prairie View, I just kept working. Coming in, having the guys that are there looking at me. At that time, I'm 5'5", I'm 145. Coming in as a freshman, and I played my true freshman year at that weight just because I had that mindset that I didn't care. I just feel like at the end of the day, it's a phrase that I don't know. We say down here in Texas, we dogs. I just feel like I was a dog. So I just went out there and I didn't fear anybody, and I just played my heart out. And constantly over the years, just kept working, knowing where I needed to get better at. And I was in the weight room, put on some more weight. And obviously now, going to my my senior year that I got up to, 180, and, that made my game go even, higher. I had some weight behind me, kept working on my speed, and just at the end of the day, just trusting in my ability and just constantly working, just got me to this point now.
And right away, as a freshman, you led the team in carries. You ran for just over 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. You had similar production your sophomore year, and then you became a full-time starter out of the backfield as a junior as you ran for over 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns. You also had an impact on the receiving end as you brought in 23 receptions for over 200 yards and 2 more scores. Talk about the versatility that you bring to the backfield, Dawonya. Is that something that you take pride in, knowing that you're not just a one-trick pony and that you can hurt opposing defenses in multiple ways?
Yes. And you look at the game now, it's not back in like the 80s where it's our formation and running back's job is just to, run downhill. Nowadays, all running backs, even the big ones, you got to catch. If you can't catch, you're putting yourself on the back end. So, I take pride in my versatility, not just, catching and running the ball. If I had to, I'd get on special teams. And because of the weight that I carry on offense, our coaches decided to cut me down on, really just being on special teams all the time. But I always work it every day at practice, catching kickoffs, kicking punts, so I can do it. But, that's just something I take pride in. And when I did take off coming in my junior year, Coach Dooley came in and he showed his versatility and his with, offense, not only just being able to earn the ball out, running the ball and using the running backs always in a passing game, which, caused my receptions and touchdowns at the backfield to go up and, just constantly learning defenses to get myself at an advantage. When I know if I'm getting the ball, it's played for defense in this front or that front. My running back coach, Coach Prairie, he taught me, a lot of things to give me, get that edge to know where, possibly this play can go right here or it can bang right here or bounce there. And it just really elevated my game, with on top of the work that I put in, helped me with, just the athletic standpoint.
And we've seen that again this past year. You capped off your senior season setting new career highs as you ran for over 1,100 yards and 15 touchdowns. I know things didn't go necessarily as you guys would have hoped team-wise as you guys finished 6-5, though you guys finished on a bit of a hot streak, winning 4 of your final 5. Overall, just how would you describe the career that you had at Prairie View A&M?
Like you said, when it comes to team-wise, that's really what bugs me. I didn't able to get that hardwood on my finger, but, as far as just the individual, I just felt like, the numbers and the progression through the years that you see, it just showed the work that I put in. Came in as a young boy, got a lot of work at the backfield, same production. We had the same, all the running backs came back from my freshman year, so it's kind of like the same rotation. And getting my feet wet, and probably like, my junior year, I just got the opportunity to be a full-time starter, and I took advantage of it, and I didn't look back. Just up my grind even more, and it just shows all the shit. I just feel like over my individual career at Prairie View just shows that, if you work hard, you can get what you want individually.
Again, we're chatting with 2020 NFL Draft prospect, the standout running back out of Prairie View A&M University, Dawonya Tucker. And Dawonya, when did it hit you that you had a legit shot at playing professionally? I'm sure it's always been the dream, but now here you are a month away from the NFL Draft, and you're at the NFL's doorstep. Does it seem surreal at all?
Yeah, it does at times. It's like, wow. It kind of hits me that, I'm not an amateur football player no more. For 8 years, high school, including college, I've been an amateur, always having to worry about grades and this and that. And it's like now, what I do and what I love is, got a chance for it to be my job now. So it's just kind of crazy. But, on the other end of it, it's like, man, I wanted it. I expected this for myself. I remember 3 years ago from now, I said, in the 2017 draft, 3 years from now, I'm going to be living out my dream. So it's finally here, and it's not nothing that surprised me. It's just it's a different stage in my life. It's just, my life about to change.
And you've seen some of your former teammates go on and, have an NFL career. There's obviously a lot of history and tradition, not only there at Prairie View A&M, not only in the SWAC, but HBCUs in general. Who are some of the current or former players that you look up to that have made it to where you want to ultimately be at yourself? And does it motivate you even more knowing that some of the best who have ever played the game of football have come from HBCUs?
Yeah, I mean, some of the guys I look up to, we had the greatest receivers to ever play the game came from, my conference in SWAC. Also we had Michael Strahan, they came from the SWAC at TSU. We got, Walter Payton, one of the best running backs ever, came out of Jackson State. But, like players nowadays, players I look up to, I look up to a lot is Kadar Hyde as a player, receiver that played on my team, and somebody that, you just show that you just stay down and keep doing what you're doing. You can, don't ever break the code, no matter how it looks. Just keep working and keep working. I remember my sophomore year, I don't think he scored a touchdown until like the third or fourth, sixth game of the season. And after that, he just took off into the season with almost like 1,000 yards and like double-digit touchdowns. And he got assigned to the NFL. He worked hard. It was training, and it just showed me, constantly being out there on the field, extra hours with him. And just showed me that, if you just keep working, you can, get what you want. Another guy I look up to is Tariq Cohen, somebody, that I talk to through social media and stuff like that. Somebody at the same stature as me. And, if you watch some of the games, that's your commentators like to compare me to him. So I like his game just because it's a lot like mine. I always want to hit out here on the goalpost every time we touch the ball. And just seeing, him being an all-pro and, making the impact he's doing in the game, it really motivates me that, I got a chance. And also another guy that's doing his thing in the XFL that came from HBCU just like the other two is Martez Carter out of Grambling. I played against him for 2 years, my freshman and sophomore year at the State Fair Classic, against Grambling. Watching him do the things he's doing in the XFL that he did in college, Against us sometimes, might not like it, but he did some crazy things against us.
Mr. Excitement.
Yeah, Mr. Excitement. That's the guy that, I look up to. Those three guys, I want to be, where they at.
Absolutely, and some guys that have had their fingerprints all over the game of football at the HBCU level and now at the professional level. Who do you think's the best player that you've played against over the years, Dawonya? Is there a specific player or two that stands out when thinking of some of the tougher matchups that you've had at your during your collegiate career?
Let me think. The best player I probably played against. I played against Myles Garrett my freshman year, but, that was SEC versus us. He probably didn't bring his A game that game. But, he did some good things that game, but it wasn't nothing that just wowed me. But somebody that wowed me, I'm like, okay, that's the best player I played against in college. I'd probably say Willie Quinn out of Southern. A guy that's another guy I look up to, same height as me. There's somebody that, everybody talk about. Man, he can score anytime he touch the ball, special teams, it don't matter. Like, the guy's just that good. And I'm like, all right, man. Like, I watch his highlights. Okay, he's good. Let me see him in person. And played against him my freshman year. And, he lived up beyond the expectations everybody said. So that's somebody I'll probably say the best player. I didn't play against him. I went on defense. But, I watched him on the sideline. I'm like, whew, I want to be like that,
Yeah, and I believe he's playing professionally north of the border now in the CFL. So, again, like you said, another one of those guys that brought a lot of excitement to HBCU football. How about most memorable play that you've made throughout your career, Dawonya? 5, 10 years down the road, what's going to be that first play that comes to mind when thinking about your Prairie View career?
I actually would think about two. They both come from my senior year, playing against Jackson State. I had an ankle injury bothering me throughout the season. Ever since we had played Southern, I hurt my ankle that game. And if you watch the game, I had the play before I made this play. I limped off the field due to my ankle injury. And my trainer had gave me some painkillers, and I went back out there, take my foot up. I went back out there. The final, the next play, I went back out there. I got a power. The blocking scheme was messed up though. Nobody blocked the inside linebacker, and it was me and him in a hole. And I just gave him a move, and it was pretty nasty. And I came out, me and the safety 1-on-1, and I gave him a move, and I took it 80 yards. The run game that whole first half wasn't going how he wanted it to, but I had got things popping off with that play, and that was a play when I look back. It was my favorite running back is Barry Sanders, and that was a Barry Sanders type run. So that's why I like it. It was one of those, make something out of nothing and end up making it a home run. So I love that play right there. Actually, you go look on my Twitter, it's like my pinned tweet. That's when my son, he like at the screen pointing like, "Oh, daddy," you know, and they end up going viral. So that's like one of the first plays I'm gonna think about just because of that. And the second one will be when I broke 1,000 yards again my senior year. It was a last play against Arkansas Palm Bluff. They started coming back. They made it a game, and my coach just ended up calling like an inside zone, and I ended up taking it to the house like 40 yards to the end zone. And I didn't even know that was the run, but like after the play, you know, our head coach stopped, you know, the whole game, and they had announced that I had broke 1,000 yards again, you know, 2 times, and he ended up giving me the game ball on the field. So those 2 plays, you know, those would be like, I remember.
For good reason as well. I mean, some great moments, no doubt about it. For those not familiar with your game, Dawonya, how would you describe it? What's the biggest strength that you bring to the backfield?
Yeah, like I said earlier, it'd be like knowing offense and knowing, you know, throughout the week, you know, studying the defense, knowing what they're trying to do, picking up on tendencies, that type of stuff. And also, you know, when it comes to the athletic side, it'd be, you know, my way of changing direction. Like, it's like anybody miss in any type of space, no matter how big, how small. Obviously, if I got a lot of space, I can really make them miss. But I make people miss in small areas. I can catch the ball out the backfield. And, you know, I also have some pretty good speed. And when I break down open field, not nobody catching me. And also when it comes to, you know, I feel like I can get my teammates better. Like, everybody that's around me, I motivate them to get them better. You know, when people feeling down, I get them going and, you know, can make people, you know, better than what they usually are just by motivating them and talking to them. So I feel like that's another big thing that goes along with my game.
Certainly not only a big-time player on the field, but in the locker room as well. Gotta love it.
Right.
Final question for you, then we'll let you go. Really appreciate your time. It's a question I finish all of my prospect interviews with, and that is, let's say we have all 32 NFL general managers. They're listening to this very interview. Why should they want the running back out of Prairie View A&M University, Dawonya Tucker, a part of their team?
Because I'm willing to do whatever any coach asks me to do, I'm going to do it without no hesitation. This has been a dream that I've been, you know, wanting to reach all my life, and I'm going to work extremely hard no matter, you know, what the circumstances is. But if it's drafted, undrafted, it don't matter. I'm going to outwork everybody, and if I get the opportunity, I promise it's not going to be nothing you're going to regret.
Dawonya, I appreciate you taking the time this morning. Congratulations on all the success there at Prairie View A&M. Congrats on making the most of the opportunity handed your way, due to the unfortunate circumstances this draft process. Looking forward to seeing how you do at that April 10th mock pro day. And again, one of the more intriguing prospects in the 2020 NFL draft class. Wishing you all the best, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.